All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions about that before I move on? Transition there, bridge, make up tilt. One thing I do want to note, because I saw a couple people, I think, not quite apply this, so chances are it's because I wasn't explaining it thoroughly enough. I want you to remember that, like, the moment to tip them is when your hips are in the air. Okay? So in the same way that when we make their hands touch the floor over your head, the moment to make that happen is when my hips are in the air. I.e., I don't go like this. It's like, the moment to tip them is not like, it's not this. It's, you see what I'm saying? So it's I do it in the moment that my hips are in the air. It's like, and again, it's one of those things where, like, more than likely, the way you've discovered that they're surfing your mount is you tried to make your hands touch the floor and it didn't work. So you can settle back down. As long as you don't make stupid mistakes, okay? I know that if I bridge, he's going to surf. So I bridge again. He surfs, okay? Now I know he's going to surf for sure, right? Maybe like if I've done it once or twice. Bridge, and when he surfs, tip. I don't have to make sure, like, something to keep in mind is, like, I don't have to necessarily hit this the exact first time that I bridge, right? As long as he can't advance in the mount and put me in a more vulnerable position, then I have some leeway to use some gamesmanship. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? Cool. But what if we're not dealing with a guy who's postured up? We always talk, like, we always start with the person postured up. What if not only is he not postured up, they get you down, with your head facing the roof, please. And let me get you on the X. It's a good thing that's there. Instead of, so he's got his good position, he's making all the right decisions, but instead of me being postured up, I'm just chilling here. Now this seems like this is basically the same thing, but if you guys recall when we talked about the situation where we're going to exploit the elbow escape, can we rotate now so that way? Is that we're here, and what happens is when he bridges and makes my hands post, we'll go really light and slow. My weight goes to my hands, and at this moment, my hips are far from my heels. My weight is on my hands. This is an optimal time to both trap my elbow because my weight's on it. It's going to be hard for me to pull it free. And likewise, my leg is pretty light. If he grabs my pant leg or something and lifts it to the air, it's actually pretty easy for him to get that up. However, once I hunker back down, if he tries to trap my arm, it's easy for me to pull it free. I can just kind of, now we turn back to the It's easy for me, like, trap my arm out. What are you doing? This is exactly what I told you to do. Gosh. Keep going.
Try another one.
Right? It's like, it's pretty easy for me to just, like, let's say you keep trying to switch, like Don's saying, you keep trying to switch arms. Right? You find, does this look familiar? Have you tried? Yes. Right. Because their weight isn't in their hands, their weight's in their hips. Likewise, all right, my hands are down. Elbow escape. Yes? Does that seem familiar to people? Like, oh man, everything should be what it is, but it isn't. Because I might have my hands down, but I stabilize with my hands down and my hips are heavy. So now, instead of dealing with, like, this person here compensating for a fall, they're choosing to be here. This isn't necessarily the worst way to hold them out. They're not super offensive, but if I'm just trying to get my points, there's 30 seconds left on the clock, it's a tournament, I just want to win. He can buck and bridge and try to elbow escape as much as he wants. Go ahead and buck and bridge and try to elbow escape as much as he wants. It's like, I can kind of just pinch my knees tight and not let anything happen. So what if then, John, what do I do then? Yeah, that's rhetorical. It's a framing device. If I have my partner stuck, like, yeah, technically their weight's redistributed, but kind of only a little. Really, their hands are just using this kickstand. So now I don't actually have the luxury of bridging them and putting their weight on their hands, necessarily. Or do I, Danny? Probably, because otherwise I wouldn't have said it like that. Yeah, let me get you that. So, he's here, he's settled his hips, his hands are heavy. What I have to do is I have to make him make a compensation, okay? So what I'm going to do, let me posture up for a moment. My hands are going to find his belt. My 4 fingers are going to go inside the belt. And I'm going to clasp, okay? What I'm going to basically try to do is bridge his hips and throw him to the ceiling, right? So push your hands down. What it looks like if he does no actual adjustments at all is a big bridge and a big punch. Okay? Now, the truth about this is, guys, this does have a little bit of reduced universality, if you will, if they're big and strong. But here's what I can, and this is what I think is really paramount about this escape, is that I don't actually have to bridge and post this person straight above me. That's how we always teach it, and it looks really cool when I do it to a guy who's like 250 pounds. It makes me look like a master or something. You know, this guy's a wizard. But honestly, all I have to do is just make him compensate his weight over here again. Remember, the primary objective of getting out of the mount, guys, is redistributing his weight. So right now, his weight's on his hips. His hands are merely sort of balancing rods. What I need to do is I'm going to do that same mechanism, big bridge, big push, but I want to take it to an angle so that what Alex has to do, if say you don't do anything, is if he doesn't do anything, he'll actually fall, right? So is Alex going to let himself fall?
Probably not.
Probably not. So as I go, boom, look at that. Here I am, right? Same exact situation, but this time I got to it by his hands being on the floor. So I just have to make him compensate. I just have to make him hand walk. Now, at the same time, if you can, without hitting your training partner in the balls, which I don't have how many people we got here today? Like 11? So what is 1 out of 11? What is that percentage? It's like 8%? 111? 111? John. So, 10 out of 11 people in this room, as far as I understand, have balls, so be mindful of that. But otherwise, I don't think getting kneed in the center line is good for anybody. So the point is, if his hands are posted, and I do a big bridge, I can put him on top of my shins and push him away. But if he's not making that super easy, if his knees are pinched really tight, let's say you don't let me do that, I promise I will not ruin your future generation. So his hands are posted, his knees are pinched tight. If his knees are pinched really tight and I try to do that, like you ever find yourself trying to do this escape and that's kind of what happens, their knees are pinched tight and you're trying to buck him and he doesn't go. Well, here's the thing. Boom. See what I'm saying? Once I get him to hand walk, once I get him to put his weight over him, he's no longer on me. And I can readjust. Same exact principles. Scoot your hips away, come up to single leg, go to single leg X, go to butterfly, all the above. You see that?
Yes, please.
Finger up down. So the easy peasy, like everything works out perfectly way. I'm here, he's in the mount. I'm gonna grab his belt, so posture up please. 4 fingers in the belt and in clasp, okay? His hands go down, now his hands are down. So I'm gonna do a big bridge, and in the midst of that bridge, actually let me get you off me for 1 second. You know what the way you want to do this is, you ever see those guys in the gym who like clearly have a bench press bar that's way too big for them, and so their like way of lifting it is this one. You know, you're gonna kind of like do a bad bench press. That's basically how you're gonna lift this. So it's like a big bridge, and I kind of Superman my arms, and almost like I'm trying to throw my hands off. So we're gonna begin. Boom. So that's like kind of the cool, whoa, I can't believe he could do that version. That's sometimes not super accessible, right? And I wouldn't call that universal. I'm probably not doing that to Shane anytime soon, right? Right? So his hands are posted, let's say your knees are pinched really tight. If I try to just do that, it's not gonna fire. But what I do have the option of is to do that same motion, but to make him hand walk. From here, boom, 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 come on. Single leg X. Does that make sense, guys?
Sure.
Yeah? Yeah?
So.
Yeah? Yeah? Excellent. Start over, work it out. 1, 2, 3.